Hi there, COC family. Thank you for joining me for the fifth week of our discussion of the Beatitudes. When I was asked to choose one of the verses for this series, I knew right away which one I wanted. It can be found in the 5th chapter of Matthew, verse 7. It reads, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy." This Sunday, if you were here in the sanctuary, or if you joined us online, you heard Pastor talk about mercy and how prevalent it is here in the USA right now. I mean, it's everywhere, right? All you have to do is turn on the television and tune into the news, and you will see nothing but mercy being practiced, right? Wrong. The truth is, friends, that mercy is a rare thing to see in our world today. In a generation of victims wanting justice, it seems everyone wants to see their perpetrator get what they deserve and more. Everyone seems to be singing the "You Did Me Wrong" song, and they want to see those who wronged them punished. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I believe in justice. Without justice, the world would be chaos. Everyone needs to be held accountable for the wrongs that they do. There needs to be laws to protect the people in the community. There will always be a need for prisons and jails as long as sin remains in this world. I, for one, am thankful for prison. Before my time of being incarcerated, I had no use for God or church. My only focus was how to make myself happy. I never even gave a thought to the 2.2 million men and women who are currently incarcerated in the United States, which, by the way, is the largest inmate population of any country in the world. But I can tell you that those few years I spent behind those fences was the biggest mercy God could have ever bestowed upon me. You see, He changed my heart. He opened my eyes to these men and women who had literally hit rock bottom, torn away from their families and their children, thrown into a psychological war zone where racism, hatred, violence, and manipulation is multiplied tenfold. I can tell you that there were moments where I didn't know if I was going to wake up the next morning. Yet in my own depression and fear that my life was ruined forever, I saw a brilliant light of hope in the eyes of those who understood mercy and grace that can only be given by the Father. I began to go to the Christian call-outs to learn more about this Jesus character that everyone was talking about. And in the few years that I spent in that dark, depressing place, I can tell you that I had more peace and joy than I had ever had in my life before. You see, I finally understood what mercy was all about. I saw it in my own life and in the lives of the men in that prison with me. I saw redemption come to life, salvation anew every day, people being born again and shedding the tattered remains of that old life. I saw healing and miracles happening before my very eyes. And that is why I chose this scripture. That is why I decided to start the Freedom Initiative ministry. That is why I know that faith is meant to be living and active every day of our lives. Yes, family, I believe in justice. But justice without mercy is just about us. It is just about getting even. It is just about punishment. It is only about retribution. Justice without mercy leaves no room for redemption. It leaves no room for healing. It does not allow for reconciliation. It does not allow those who have done wrong to ever have a chance of starting over. Even here in the state of Kansas, with lifetime parole, lifetime registration, those who have been to prison have a slim chance of being successful when they return to the community. Parole and corrections are designed for failure. It's sad to say that communities, more often than not, would rather these criminals return to prison than stay out here amongst us. The sad truth is that 2 out of 3 individuals will return to prison within the first 1 to 3 years of release. Employers don't want to take a risk. Landlords won't let them move in. Even some churches are afraid to let them in the door. Many become homeless, turn or return to drugs and alcohol to try to dilute the pain of their failure, the pain of their families abandoning them, giving up on them. Some even say that they would rather return to prison forever. At least there they have a warm bed and food to eat. These men and women are the ones who commit new crimes just to try to survive in a society that rejects them because they feel they have no other choice. As I come to the end of my time, I reach out to my family here at COC and to the churches all across Salina and across the world. I ask you, what kind of church do we want to be? When we see the homeless man on the street, do we drive on by? I have. What if we stop and ask them if we can get them a bottle of water or a sandwich, or maybe even just take the time to hear their story and maybe share ours? When the addict comes stumbling down off of a high into the church on a Sunday, crying out that they can't take it anymore, do we lay hands on them in prayer and invite them to our 12-step group? Or do we react with fear and disgust, reaching for our phones to call the police? When the felon who committed murder walks in looking for a new beginning, do we look at him with worry and suspicion? Or do we shower him with God's love and grace? Or when the sex offender becomes a member of our church, do we do what Jesus would do and love him or her, making them a part of the family? Or do we act friendly on the surface, but constantly live in fear when they are around? Family, anyone can sin. Anyone can fall from grace. Anyone can make a terrible mistake. Even you, even me. And there are thousands and thousands of people right here in Salina that are desperate for God's mercy. And how will they ever see it if not through us? So what kind of church do we want to be? If you have any questions about the Freedom Initiative and how we are working to bring mercy and freedom to all in our community, and how we need you to help with our cause, please check out our website at www.freedom-initiative.com. Thank you, family, and have a great week.